We've got our first real tease of the new Castlevania anime. What can this reveal tell us about the coming show? It's time for the latest news out of animation. Given the great success of Netflix's Castlevania, the fact that a sequel series has been greenlit shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Castlevania Nocturne has been announced for some time now, but the only real information we had on it was a brief teaser. Even trailer seems too generous a term. We know what the back of Richter Belmont's head looks like, but precious little else at this point. Richter's presence gave us some clues, however. Netflix confirmed that this follow-up series will be set during the French Revolution and will have a plot drawing on Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night, two extremely well-regarded games. That fits well having Richter take the lead, since he's prominent in both, but it's made a new revelation extremely curious. We've gotten our first look at the female lead of the time period, Maria Renard, and her design is extremely curious. She seems to be a grown woman by the time period of the anime. Fans who only know her from Symphony won't be too surprised by this look. While it's a unique take, it matches her basic look in that game. However, well-informed Castlevania fans will be raising an eyebrow. Maria is significantly younger in Rondo of Blood. While she's able to fight vampires, she's just 12 years old during the events of that game. It's strange that in this early stage, the first season of a new show and presumably the point where her story begins, we're skipping ahead. There's a few potential explanations for this. Perhaps the anime is taking a much looser take on the events of the game than we expected. Nothing in the story of Rondo strictly requires Maria to be a child. It could be as simple as the team deciding a 12-year-old vampire-slaying magic user with extremely potent powers was too silly, not fitting the grim world and tone thereafter, and aging her up right out of the gate. Alternatively, perhaps the events of Rondo are simply not in focus. Symphony of the Night is the better regarded game. Perhaps Rondo is covered extremely briefly, with the majority of Season 1 focused on the narrative within Symphony. However, that raises questions about the true focus of the show. Richter features prominently in the story of Symphony of the Night, but he is not its main protagonist. That role goes to Alucard. Yes, the same Alucard fans of the prior series will be familiar with. Including him prominently in this new show would be a double-edged sword. It would give existing fans a familiar face to identify with and root for, but the producers will want to avoid making him too prominent. Having Alucard show up to undertake his usual protagonist duties runs the risk of denying Richter and Maria the chance to really make their own mark on the narrative. With one Belmont and one Mage as our two protagonists, the show will likely be trying to focus on distinguishing this new pair from Sypha and Trevor. Having Alucard around them, aiding the pair in their adventures, will undercut that badly. Will the team take the risk to try and give fans more Alucard, or will they mix up the plot to give Maria and Trevor more importance and focus? Regardless, we'll continue to keep you up to date with all the latest news out of animation.